You are listening to the Beyond the Pain podcast, where Dr. Emil Tompkins and his guests guide you through the latest techniques to relieve your pain and learn how to fuel, move, and think for lifetime wellness.
Well, hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Beyond Pain Relief podcast. I thank you so much for joining us today, and we're going to be talking about 5 of the most common nutritional deficiencies that we deal with. And let's talk about that. Nowadays, with all the high-tech advances in food preparation, genetics, and just technology altogether, there just really shouldn't be any deficiencies in America, right? Well, and I think some of us might argue that some of those high-tech advances may not necessarily be good things, because it really is false. Nutritional deficiencies are incredibly common around the world and in America. Our soil is depleted, and things like genetic engineering of food has changed those things that our body maybe used to be used to eating at some point, used to be digesting at some point in our history, but things are different now. So every day, even when we're trying to eat healthy, our body becomes more and more nutrient deficient. Or maybe you're normal and you aren't eating so healthy. Normal is probably not the word, but unfortunately in this case, normal isn't good. The standard American diet is very nutrient poor, which means there's a lot of calories out there, but not a lot of nutrients at all. Maybe the food is full of, say, simple carbohydrates and sugar. Unfortunately, eating this way has no real possibility of long-term success. Both of these methods are going to lead to nutritional deficiencies, and here are the 5 most common nutritional deficiencies in America right now. Number 1, iron. Iron is an essential nutrient. It's a major component of red blood cells, where it binds to hemoglobin and transports oxygen out to the cells and tissues. 25% of people all over the world are deficient in iron. 47% of preschool children are deficient in iron. Vegans and vegetarians are deficient in iron. If you have iron deficiency, it can most commonly lead to anemia, which causes tiredness, weakness, a weakened immune system, and impaired brain function. Definitely things we don't want to have at all. So get more iron in your day today by eating more things like liver, meat, eggs, nuts, and dried fruit. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is called the sunlight vitamin because you actually do get it from the sun. Your skin absorbs vitamin D from sunlight, and unless you spend most of your time indoors and cover yourself with sunscreen, which unfortunately most of us do, which means everyone is going to be deficient, pretty close to being deficient in vitamin D. Even here out in the desert, there's so much sun here, but we cover ourselves up so much, we really miss it. So many of us are deficient in vitamin D. It affects our immune system, so getting sick and tired often is a side effect. Back pain, bone pain, depression, impaired wound healing, muscle pain, blood sugar problems, hair loss, cancers are all common effects of vitamin D deficiency. So get your vitamin D. Either get it from the sun, or you can start to supplement. 2,000 international units of vitamin D is acceptable for like a maintenance type of protocol. And for some, we need to increase our vitamin D. For most of us, we do. So then you want to move that up closer to 5,000 international units of vitamin D per day. And you want to get it tested periodically to make sure that you don't go overboard. Too much vitamin D can lead to toxicity, even though that's not an issue that most people have to deal with. Vitamin D toxicity is a real thing, so you want to make sure that you're always staying within really good, safe parameters. Next, magnesium. Magnesium is a key mineral in the body. It's essential for bone and teeth structure, and it's also involved in more than 300 enzyme reactions. Almost half of the U.S. population consumed less than the required amount of magnesium in 2005 and 2006. Low intake and blood levels of magnesium have been associated with a few different diseases, including type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, heart disease, and osteoporosis. To get magnesium, you want whole grains, nuts, dark chocolate, green leafy vegetables. Those are the highest concentration of magnesium in our foods. B vitamins, next. You want to get lots of B vitamins. We're going to talk today about vitamin B12, cobalamin. It's a water-soluble vitamin. It's essential for blood formation as well as for brain and nerve function. Every cell in your body needs B12 to function normally, but unfortunately, the body's unable to produce it. Therefore, we got to get it from food or supplements. Now, vitamin B12 is only found in animal foods, with some minor exceptions. A certain type of seaweed has vitamin B12, but in general, you're getting it from animal products. So if you don't eat animal products, vegan, vegetarian, you're at increased risk of vitamin B12 deficiency, an incredibly high risk. Studies have shown that 80 to 90% of vegans are deficient in vitamin B12. You get them from shellfish, high concentrations in shellfish, especially clams and oysters, organ meat, any kind of meat. A 6-ounce piece of steak, very small piece of steak, has 150% of the daily allowance of vitamin B12. Eggs have vitamin B12. Next, we're going to talk about iodine. It's an essential mineral for thyroid function and the production of thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones are involved in a lot of processes in the body, such as growth, brain development, and bone maintenance. They also regulate your metabolic rate. Iodine deficiency is one of the most common nutrient deficiencies in the world. A third of the world's population is affected by a lack of iodine. The most common symptom of iodine deficiency is an enlarged thyroid gland, also known as a goiter. It can also cause an increase in heart rate, shortness of breath, and weight gain. Now, severe iodine deficiency can also cause some serious adverse effects, especially in kids. Mental retardation and developmental abnormalities can happen when we're deficient in iodine. Some good dietary sources of iodine: seaweed, fish, dairy, eggs have high amounts of iodine, so make sure you're getting your iodine. Keep your thyroid healthy. Now, there you have it. Those are the 5 most common nutrient deficiencies: iodine, B vitamins, magnesium, vitamin D, iron. That's it for today. And you don't have to do a lot special to improve them. Just simply start eating foods that are nutrient dense. It'll change your life. Sometimes nutrient dense foods aren't enough to give you everything you need, though. Problems with the environment, soil depletion cause us to suffer with poor nutrients, even in good foods. So you may want to consider high-quality supplementation to help you in this area. High-quality supplementation doesn't mean just go get what you find in the store that has the same name. You want to make sure that you're using a company that's going to have that will stand by their products, a company whose products are tested to actually be the thing that's in there. A lot of supplements aren't regulated by the FDA, so there's kind of an allowance to almost do whatever you want. And when they go in and test, they find that a lot of these places don't actually have what they say they have in it. So there are a few different companies that we feel really good about. And if you really want more information in that area, I would invite you to talk with our health coach sometime and learn how we can incorporate a high-quality diet and nutrition protocol to help you achieve your health and wellness goals. Hey guys, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, if you're taking NSAIDs, that's non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications, you are at approximately 3 times greater risk for developing serious GI problems. You definitely want to find another choice. NSAIDs are used for pain, typically inflammatory conditions, arthritis, that sort of thing. It's a very common medication that people take for pain, ibuprofen, naproxen, those kinds of things. So Advil, Aleve, and some of the more stronger medications are used for pain. We know that any medication can have side effects, but almost 2% of people, any person taking NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, are hospitalized every year because of the GI problems that are having. And the problem is, one study showed that people taking those NSAIDs are noticing as their very first complication something that's life-threatening. They don't have the minor complications. It's the life-threatening complications, and half of people that are taking that before they notice anything else. So you really want to do something that's safe. And there are studies that show certain formulations of curcumin can relieve pain and increase mobility in patients with arthritis. and it reduces inflammatory markers, and it does that without side effects. So what exactly is curcumin? The plant turmeric is very well known in India. The root is harvested, cleaned, dried, and powdered and used as a spice. Turmeric gives curry its beautiful, like golden yellow color, and it's used as a medicine. Traditionally, turmeric was used in nearly every health condition known to man, from smallpox to sprained ankles, because of its anti-inflammatory components, and the main one is this compound known as curcumin. Just like oranges are a source of vitamin C, turmeric is a source of curcumin. Today we extract the curcumin from turmeric to use it as a natural medicine, but a typical turmeric root contains about 2 to 5% curcumin. So just taking some unstandardized powdered turmeric root product doesn't actually give you that much of the good stuff. It doesn't give you the large amounts of what will be required to get a beneficial amount of curcumin, which is why when I talk to patients quite frequently, they'll say, oh, I've tried turmeric and maybe it helped a little, or maybe it didn't help that much. Well, you really need a very, very specifically something with the standardized amounts of curcumin known to be able to help. So turmeric is excellent when used as a spice. Curcumin extract is better for its health benefits. Curcumin was first isolated way back in 1815, but it'd take almost another 100 years before its full chemical structure was mapped out. Since then, curcumin research has exploded. It works on a lot of different inflammatory pathways on lots of different levels, and works simultaneously in these different pathways. So it's like this whole pharmacy of nutrients working together. There was a study, 100 patients with arthritis divided into 2 groups. First group was given the best available treatment available. The second was given that treatment plus curcumin. The curcumin group performed the best. Definitely, it's something that you want to use right away if you're dealing with pain, especially chronic pain. The curcumins can make a really big benefit for you. Guys, I'm going to have a link in the show notes to a product. It's called Inflavonoid Intensive Care. It's from Metagenics. It's a company that we use and are really, really happy with. It has those curcumins and a bunch of other natural things that help with pain and inflammation. If you want to deal with pain in a natural way, that's going to be a way to do it. So go ahead and look for that link in the show notes and try that Inflavonoid Intensive Care. Guys, I wish you a fantastic and healthy day. Hey guys, it's Dr. Emil Tompkins. Many people fail to make a change in their health until things are drastic, until we've gone so far that it's so challenging to make that change, or we feel like it's almost too late, and then we're much more reluctant to make those changes in our health. This is a problem, and it needs to change. It needs to stop. When you find something that has an opportunity to make a difference in your health or in the health of someone around you, I invite you to take that opportunity to make that change for yourself or for someone you know. So I have a favor to ask of you. If you've listened to this podcast and you feel like there's something here that you think will benefit someone that you know, I invite you to share that podcast with them. There's a share link on the bottom of the screen. I want you to click that share button to share this with others. Give others the opportunity to experience the Beyond Pain Relief podcast. Share that with others. Make a difference in the health of someone around you. And I thank you so much for doing that. This is Dr. Emil Tompkins. Thank you for joining us on the Beyond Pain Relief podcast. And thank you for making a difference in the lives of the people around you. Have a great day.
You are listening to the Beyond the Pain podcast, where Dr. Emil Tompkins and his guests guide you through the latest techniques to relieve your pain and learn how to fuel, move, and think for lifetime wellness.